So here's my new toy. I've been working on putting together a computer using the Z-80 8-bit processor from the late 70s, early 80s. They still make them actually. I bought several of them brand new. And then as you can tell, it's got some memory on it. It's counting down from all the memory and making sure the memory's fine. And yeah, now it's just outputting to the parallel port. It's counting from 0 to 255 and just wrapping around. But let me show you. Here is the CPU, and I designed and built this breakout board so I could easily plug in the cables rather than having them all in the breadboard like that. Makes it a little more easy to do. And then also over here I've got the memory, which is 32K of RAM, 32K of RAM, and then 8K of ROM. But actually I'm only using 2K of the ROM, so I can only use up to 64K combined at this point. So I'm not using all the RAM. And then over here, I've got this display that I built. That's what's on this breadboard right here. This right here is the power and the clock and the reset. So if I wanted to reset the computer, I would just take this, connect it to ground. Usually that would be a button, and you'll see that everything resets. But then up here, what I've got is, this is a parallel chip that goes with the Z-80 processor. And basically what I can do with that is I can like hook a keyboard up to it and you know, use that as an input. I could hook a parallel printer up to it and use it as the printer. A lot of applications for that. And then the next thing I'm going to do is a serial port, so I can connect to like RS-232, or even they sell now adapters that I can plug into USB on my computer, load up a terminal program, and then access the computer directly. Right now I don't have the software to do that, but I'm writing it all. So like this whole thing that you saw here and this happening here, I'm writing in assembler and saving it to the ROM, and that's what's controlling the CPU. So right now it's pretty simple. It looks like a rat's nest, I know, but what I've been doing is all of these started out on the breadboard as well, but then I took the CPU and took it off just to keep the cables to a minimum. And then the memory was also on a breadboard. And once I got comfortable that the wiring was good and everything worked, I created the PCB so I could break that out again. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the display. And actually what I'm doing now is I've got a backplane designed. Actually, it should be here in the next few days, that has the sockets in it, so that I can take the cards that I design and just plug them in and just have a modular computer. And then as I finish a breadboard and get comfortable with it, I just convert it to that board and then plug it in. And so then the computer can grow that way, but I can still use the breadboard hooking up to it and come up with new modules and new applications. Talk to you later.